The Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Reaper Apparel Company. Reaper Apparel offers a casual line of superb fit, finish, and comfort. We design for those who refuse to die slowly and choose to live untamed. For those who aren't afraid to face the dark, for the ones that thrive in it, and for those who can appreciate life through a grim lens. That's Reaper Apparel Company. Go to the link in the description of this episode, use the promo code Mike Bono, and get 10% off. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Tactical Brotherhood, all American-made apparel, which helps support the Second Amendment. You can also find all this in the description of this episode with the link Tactical Brotherhood. Part of every proceed does go to helping veterans. It is a very good cause. All American-made products made right here in Minnesota. Go and check them out. Use the promo code PATRIOT15 to get 15% off your purchase. The Ride Home Rants podcast wants to thank you for listening and let everybody know that we do offer monthly subscriptions to help support the show in other ways other than listening and downloading each episode. What you will get with each subscription is you will get bonus episodes that aren't released to everybody. You will also have a chance to ask me anything each and every month where I will put out a special episode just to answer your questions. You will also get more exclusive content that is not released to everybody. To subscribe to the show, go and click on the link in the description of this episode, and I look forward to your added support and to help us keep this show going. The Ride Home Rants podcast is also brought to you by Buddy's Beard Care. Buddy's Beard Care provides premium men's grooming products at an affordable price. Products are made in Ohio, and Buddy's Beard Care supports local. The majority of our supplies are from other Ohio-based companies. You can find them on social media at Buddy's Beard Care or online at buddysbeardcare.com. Use the promo code BONO15 and he will save you 15%. I've been using these products for a little over 6 months now, and my beard has never felt healthier. It has never grown faster, and according to my wife, it has never felt softer. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by former guest of the show in Matt Landowski in Sweet Hands Sports. Elevate their game with Sweet Hands Sports. Our sports gloves are designed for champions, providing ultimate grip and durability. Achieve greatness with every match. Choose Sweet Hands Sports for the winning edge. Grip your victory at sweethandsports.com. Use the promo code BONO10 and he will save you 10%. He has sent me a complimentary pair of golf gloves. They are so comfortable, durable, and breathable. You won't find a better pair of gloves out there. Again, sweethandsports.com, promo code BONO10. Lastly, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Deemed Fit, a clothing company from first responders for first responders. These products are so comfortable. They look great. They have great messages on them. They are provided to support first responders, especially those who worked through COVID. All of the proceeds are going to helping veterans and first responders with their mental and physical health. This is a great cause. I support anything that has to do with our first responders and our veterans. Again, deemedfit.co, promo code Mike Bono will save you 20%. Now, let's start the show. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Ride Home Rants podcast. This is, as always, your host, Mike Bono. I got a great guest for us today. He's coming to us. I believe he's right now in Glenville, West Virginia. Grew up near in my hometown of Follansbee, West Virginia, but he is also the cousin of former guest of the show, Luke Secrist, and that is Luke Secrist that joins the show. Luke, thanks for joining, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Hey, not a problem at all. Mentioned it there a little bit. You know, you and Brennan are cousins. I think you said first cousins before we got it rolling. So, you know, how are you guys really related?
So pretty much my dad and Brennan's dad are cousins. Wait, hold on. Let me back this up. My Pat and Brennan's Pat were brothers.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, it's always fun trying to figure out the family tree, isn't it? You know how everyone's related.
I don't know. I mean, it always comes up in conversations, but yeah, we're cousins, but I mean, we're pretty much just each other's best friends. So
Yeah, it's always good to have family members like that. Um, I wish I had a lot more male cousins than I do,
mhm.
because I grew up with a lot of female cousins, and like best friends, but it was still funny because we didn't have the same last name, so people would always look at us and be like, "Oh, you guys would make a cute couple." It's like, well, we're family, so like that would be weird. Like, so,
No, I think that's like the best part of like us being each other's best friends, but also having the same last names. Like we'll go out to the bar. I think like yesterday we just went out and had dinner and we got a couple beers and our waitress asked your IDs and we are like, we're going to blow your mind. She's like, what are you talking about? And she looked down and she saw we had the same last name and she was like, what? No, it's always funny to get people with that, or like just random people will meet at parties that like Brennan may know them, but they don't know me, or I may know them and they don't know Brennan. And then like, I don't know. It's always funny to mess with people, I guess.
I said, did you ever mess with anybody with the same last name? Tell them you're brothers.
Yeah. Yeah. Yesterday I told the lady we were twins. I said we're twin brothers. And she was like, oh, I kind of see it. I was like, no, you don't.
No, you don't. Not even close. Don't lie to me. It's fun to mess with people that way. But like I said, you grew up, I believe, near the Follansbee area where I'm originally from, where Brennan's originally from. So tell the listeners what it was like, where you grew up and, what it was like growing up in such a small town.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I was telling you before, I did originally grew up in Follansbee up until I was like 5 or 6. And then parents split up. Mom moved to New Philadelphia, Ohio. So for the first, I'd say like after the split, I was only in Follansbee on the weekends.
Okay.
And then, so I think my 8th grade year is when I moved back with my dad's. So I finished out 8th grade through senior year, school there in Follansbee. But I mean, the small town vibes, I mean, you love it or you hate it. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone knows everything about everybody. And, word, everything spreads like wildfires down there. But
can't get away with shit in a small town.
You can't. No, you can't. But I don't know. I liked it. I mean, it was such a small town, but I mean, like, you're from there. We're 45 minutes from Pittsburgh. We're not too far from Wheeling. Like if you wanted to get out of that for a day, I mean, it was easy access.
Easy.
For sure.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time, going to Wheeling Nailers games to get out of Follansbee for a little bit, going up to Pittsburgh, catching a Buccos game and stuff like that. It's quick, it's easy, it's not that terrible of a drive no matter where you go.
Right.
But I love it. Follansbee, a town of 1,500 people. It's my kind of vibes. A lot of mom and pop shops there too as well. Love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just one of those old steel mill towns for people out there that, just a blue collar town that, it's you want to hate it, but you love it.
Right.
I moved away from it. I live in Zanesville, Ohio now, and been here for about 6 years now. And the wife and I are trying to figure out how we can get back to Follansbee. Like we never thought that we would want to go back. And it's just like, okay, how quickly and how could we get back to where we know everybody, and we just love the town. We love the environment there. And you went to my alma mater, Brooke High School. What sports and activities were you involved in there growing up?
So I did football. I did track for 2 years. I tried out for baseball one season, and it was not for me, but that's all right. Yeah, I mean, those are really sports wise. I was in a few of the clubs there at Brooke. Mostly spent a lot of my time. I was in the carpentry program there. I did that for 4 years. I really liked a lot of the high schools around pretty much everywhere. They have like, I don't know how to explain, like one vocational school for like multiple schools to come to, and it's separate. I really did enjoy how Brooke has that all like attached right there. and
Yeah.
they have that access to students and whatnot. But
yeah, that really, when I was there in the early 2000s, that aging myself a lot by that. But yeah, they started when they built that new gym, the basketball courts, the natatorium, the pool, and everything. The vocational and all that just kind of fell into that project, and it was super beneficial. You grew up in a town like that, they kind of realize there's probably not a lot of people that are going to be going to a traditional 4-year college or university. There's a lot of trade workers in that town, and it's perfect. I mean, here where my son goes to school, they have that, but it's like 10 miles like away from where the school actually is.
yeah,
So it's not as easily accessed as Brooke is, where it's like, oh, I'm going down the hall and into this one wing of the high school, and I'm where I need to be to learn where I need to be. You don't have to go to your core classes in the morning, get in your car, and then drive somewhere else to get to what you really want to do in life and that. And
right.
I wish more schools were like Brooke and had that just right there.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're in Glenville, West Virginia right now. That's where you're currently going to school, correct?
It's where I'm going to school, but as I said right now, I'm in Morgantown.
You're in Morgantown. Okay.
Yeah, working up here for the summer.
Gotcha. What school are you going to right now? For college when you are in school, and playing any football in your college?
I played 3 years of football down in Glenville. I actually just hung everything up beginning of the spring. I just decided that it wasn't for me. I enjoyed it while it lasted. I had to deal with some injuries and some other personal issues, and I just felt that was best for me. But I mean, it was an amazing experience. I mean, I know a lot of kids don't get the opportunity to do that, but I don't know how many people are listening to your podcast who's in high school or thinking about maybe doing that. It is probably the most beneficial experience you could do in life if you have that opportunity. Any college sport, 100%.
100%. I was a swimmer. I played football and swam at Brooke. Went to Bethany College and swam there for 2 years. It was an unfortunate injury, a shoulder injury. That's kind of the kiss of death for swimmers. But loved every minute of it. I'm crazy. I loved getting up at 6 a.m. and being in the water and doing workouts that early. It kept me grounded and had me into a routine. And I think that's super beneficial for college students.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Getting into that routine and just, knowing even after the injury, then everything like that, where I couldn't swim anymore, the next year, like my roommates were like, why are you awake right now? Like, why are you up and doing something at 6 a.m.? I was like, well, basically since I've been 8 years old, I've been up and swimming since at 6 a.m. So I got into this routine. I'd get up, I'd get some breakfast, I'd go, if I could, I'd go to the gym, get a little run and cardio in. And then by that time it was time to go to classes. And, I had more done, between 6 and like 9 o'clock than most college students get done in a full day.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think that was, I don't think it's anybody's favorite part of being a collegiate athlete are the 6 a.m. workouts. But I think looking back on it, like it probably was the most beneficial thing for me. I think my biggest thing was, I also had a shoulder injury, and eventually what led to me, deciding to hang it up, I just fell out of love of the game, I think.
Yeah.
But those 6 a.m. workouts, like you said, you go to bed the night before. I was the type of person where I am a morning person for things I want to do. And like going to bed like the first couple of weeks of fall camp, be like, oh, I do not want to wake up. I do not want to wake up in the morning. I want to sleep in, just getting off summer break and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then you get up and you do it after the workout. I mean, you just feel great. You just want to go and accomplish as much as you can get done. And I definitely super beneficial in that, just to get in like that schedule, that routine. That is definitely one thing that I missed after everything.
Yeah, I know. Even like at Bethany College, like we had like 'cause swimming, it's a winter sport, and there was for Christmas break we pretty much had all of January off at Bethany, unless you were a winter sport athlete. Then you had to be on campus, and it was what we called J term or January term. It was optional to take a class. If you wanted to, it actually would help you graduate early. If you wanted to, I don't know if they still offer that now. I would imagine they still do. But all the athletes had to be there because there were workouts and everything like that. So even though I wasn't taking a class, I still had to be on campus. I still had to be up at 6 a.m. and in the water doing workouts. We'd be done by 8, breakfast after that. Then we'd have to be back in the weight room and back in the pool by like noon. And again, like I didn't have to be there. It was winter break for me. Most kids are sleeping in. They're, we're working off all the holiday food and everything like that. Just getting, being fat and happy, after the holidays. Yeah. And I'm in the pool just cooking it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just, it's a lot for somebody who's doesn't have that dedication and love the sport that they're doing. I know a lot of people like, well, I'm going to college because, they're giving me money. And I mean, I really don't want to do the sport, but if they're going to give me money to go to school, why not do it? And they just kind of half-ass it. And I don't think that's right. I think you just need to call it quits. Like you said, you fell out of love with the game. Was that partly to, just the grind of everything, or?
I mean, I think, and I was also, towards the end, I would say like, I'd say right around the fall of my junior year, which would have been the start of my last season. I think that's when I was like, kind of debating on wanting to hang it up then, but I was like, I guess what you said, like, oh, they're giving me money, I might as well just do it. I have good friends, and I like, for a long time, hated myself for even like thinking like that, because there's so many people who would kill for an opportunity like that to be in my shoes, and they just didn't. That door just didn't open for them. And then I would just like, I would wake up and be like, man, I do not want to go. Like, I'm just not feeling it anymore. And I would like just kick myself in the ass, honestly. But it did get to a point where my class schedule just like completely took away football from me, because I would make the 6 a.m. workouts, but then I would be in class pretty much from 8 in the morning till 6 in the afternoon, sometimes later, with just my field. So, I mean, I was missing practices left and right just because, football, it's sport. It's what I went to college to play. But like in the end, in my head, school was more important. So that's just the decision I ended up, was really just the final, I guess, cherry on top of like, okay, this is, it's time.
Yeah. And I think it goes, I don't want to say like unrecognized, but I mean, unnoticed or anything like that, but you're a student athlete. Student comes first. Right. Then you're an athlete. You're there to get an education, to better yourself down the road. Athletics is a bonus.
Yeah.
I mean, right. I was at a D3 school, so there wasn't, I don't want to say there wasn't potential to go anywhere. And swimming, it's such a tough sport. There's not like a professional league per se. There's the Olympics every 4 years. There's the Worlds every 2 years. Besides that, there's not a lot of opportunities past college.
Mm-hmm.
And I know with football, I mean, what's it like? 3% of college athletes will even get invited to the draft, and 1% of those will get drafted into the NFL. It's a crazy number. Like, it's just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless you you can do it, I mean, studies should come first.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not think that way my freshman and sophomore year when I was swimming out there, because in my fantastic head it was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be at the Olympics, so what the hell do I need to go to this class for? I was the exact opposite of you. I was missing classes to go to practice.
Well, I'm not saying that never happened. My freshman year, oh yeah, it was. I think I went into college with the mindset of I'm a college football player.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, because I don't even know. I don't even know at what point I like made up my mind that like I wasn't going to go to college when I was in high school. But once I got over that hump and was like, okay, the only reason that I'm going to go is if I get a chance for football. And that's where I was. And then whenever I got there, I was like, okay, I'm in college. I'm a college football player. Like, screw school. That was like me the first few months of freshman year, and it ended up coming back and bite me in the ass for sure. But I guess didn't really necessarily lock in to my school and studies until my sophomore year.
Yeah, I wish I would have locked in my sophomore year. I still didn't. Until after the injury, which happened in my sophomore year, which goes back to my days at Brooke. I actually separated my shoulder my senior year playing football. Had no clue.
Was it the AC joint? Was it your AC joint?
No, it was actually completely separated right at the tip, and I had no idea I did it. And it was the first day we put pads on at Brook, and we're hitting sleds. And I hit a sled and I pushed it, and I felt a burning sensation go down my arm and into my pinky. And I was just like, oh, it's a stinger. First time hitting pads, it's a stinger, whatever. Played the whole season. Never missed a practice, never missed a game. I was a special teamer and a backup wide receiver and defensive end playing at Brook, and just taking a beating. Didn't find out till I went to swim practice after the season, after our playoff game, and jumped in the pool, went to do a stroke, and my arm just wouldn't do the stroke like I needed it to do. And I told my coach, I was like, something's wrong. Like, I don't know what's wrong, but like, I can't, this is all I got. This is all I got for the people watching on YouTube and on my Patreon. Like, this is all I got. My arm won't go and I can't extend it out. She's like, have the trainer look at you. I was like, all right. So went back to Mike. He was like, didn't you just finish football? How are you already in the training room? I was just like, I'm here. I don't know. And he was feeling my shoulder, and he was like, you in any pain? And I was like, I mean, I've been in pain. I just finished a 12-game season with making the playoffs and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm sore, but I don't know. He's like, you should probably go to the doctors. And called my parents. They met me at the hospital, and the doctor was just like, yeah, you separated your shoulder. Like, I was just like, when?
That's crazy. The whole season.
Just a dumb teenage kid. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, it's pain. I'm young. I'll heal. Whatever. Didn't think anything of it. Invincible. Lost my senior swim season. So had a lot of D1 offers coming out of my junior year, and lost all of those except for Bethany College. They were the only ones that kept it. So what made the decision easy for me as the schooling I was going to. But yeah, it was, at that point, it was like, okay, somebody still believes in me. I obviously can still do this, even though I lost a year swimming. And re-blew it out in the middle of a race. at Bethany my sophomore year, and got it rehabbed enough that I could, finish the season, go to our conference championships. And then after that, I looked at my coach. I said, Coach, I'm done. I can't give you everything I have. This shoulder's not going to hold up. I don't think rehab is going to do it again in the off season. It's probably going to require surgery, and I'm not losing another year of swimming. I'm going to hang up the goggles and the cap, and I can't do it anymore. And I hate to do it, but I'm going to do it. And plus that also made me realize, like, oh crap, now I got to buckle down with this schooling thing. So ended up having to do a 5th year option because basically screwed around for the first 2 years that I was there. So yeah, it is what it is. You live and you learn. But I don't know. It's for anybody into college athletics or thinking about going into college athletics, just do it. Make the leap of faith. And if it's not for you, then, hang it up. You tried. That's the thing I would say for everybody. Just give it a go. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. Who cares?
Yeah. No, right. 100%.
And, 100%. We got completely off topic on with that little spiel and rant there. We started talking about hometowns, and then we somehow got onto college athletics. It's just the way my mind works sometimes. But like I said, we're from near the same town. Grew up in the same town, but you're familiar with the area. But a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of great food in that area, in the Follansbee, Wheeling, Steubenville, Ohio area. Do you have any favorite spots back home? So if you're there, that you try to hit up?
I'm from, obviously, Follansbee is a small town. You know this. Mm-hmm. Glenville is an insanely small town where I'm going to school at. There's one stoplight, one gas station, and 2 restaurants. So when I'm home, I try and go as many places as I can to eat. I don't know. I feel like one of my favorites, and I did work there in high school, but I really like Theo Yanni's. Theo Yanni's is one of my, it's in my top 5 up there, up in Weirton.
Yeah. Theo Yanni's is great if you like Greek food. It's good. I don't mind it. I don't hate it. It's definitely up in my top 5. I just got to be in the mood for Greek food, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those, like, I got to be like, I'm getting Greek today. Like,
yeah, definitely same here. But every time I get it, it's just delicious.
Yeah. Can't go wrong.
Pizza wise, DeCarlo's.
I was saying, this is going to make or break how the rest of this show goes here, Luke. If we don't say DeCarlo's,
well, and I've been thinking about this one because when I listened to you and Brendan's podcast, and that got brought up, the Carlos, I'm going to throw a curveball at you here.
Okay.
Sometimes I prefer DeFelice Brothers over DeCarlos.
I'm not mad at that either. I'm not mad at that at all.
I get a lot of hate for that, but
why?
They're both great. I don't know.
DeFelice is good.
It's delicious. It is. I think it's just because it's such polar opposites of what DeCarlo's is.
Yeah.
Thicker, more like sweeter. I love it. It's delicious.
The sauce is definitely sweeter, for sure. Mm-hmm. But it's still a phenomenal slice.
Yeah. Yeah. DeCarlo's.
Go ahead.
I think because DeCarlo's is, I live on Hooverson Heights, and with DeCarlo's being right there, it makes an easy pickup for sure. Yeah,
that's the convenience factor is definitely helps.
Yeah, and I definitely think my favorite DeCarlo's is Hooverson Heights for sure.
Yeah, I've had them all. I think we've gotten the Weirton, the Hooverson Heights one more than what's it, Willsburg. Um,
What's your favorite one, in your opinion?
I gotta go Weirton. I gotta go the Hooverson Heights. Willsburg is a little bit more convenient, but I don't know. It's something about Weirton. I mean, they're both about the same distance from where my parents live. But I'll tell you this though, for Steubenville area, I'm going to throw another pizza curveball at you that my wife and I absolutely loved when we were living in Wintersville. But Bocelli's.
I don't even know if I've had that before.
You shut up, man. Like that is. Bocelli's is.
I probably have and don't remember it, but I really don't know. I don't spend a lot of time over there in the Wintersville area.
You got to Gianna Moore's was over there. They recently shut down. COVID kind of put the kibosh on them. What they've been there for decades, and that was you want a good piece of pizza, like that was the place to go. But Vicelli's, man, I don't like when we lived there. Like that was the go-to. Like we knew, like paydays were rolling around. It's like Friday night's Vicelli's night now. Like we're ordering out and we're getting some Vicelli's.
I'm gonna have to try some next time I'm in the area.
Yeah, 100%.
Now I feel like I have to because I love pizza. I do. I mean, who doesn't? Who
doesn't love pizza? If you don't love pizza, you're a sociopath, in my opinion. Like, get out of here. Like, who doesn't love a good slice of pizza?
Grow up.
Grow up. Yeah, that's it. Grow up, dude. Like, just get out of here. Enjoy some pizza.
I'll throw another one at you. And I think they used to be in the Steubenville Mall, but Ruby's. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've had it a couple times, not enough to probably give them a bump, but I know who you're talking about.
It's very good.
Yeah.
I don't want to put it over DeCarlo's or De Felice, but if I'm over in the Steubenville area and it's like the lunchtime, I mean, you go in, I like about it is everything's like pre-cooked, like fresh, obviously, but as soon as you get it, you order it by the slice, and they throw it right in the oven, warm it up, get your breadstick, but their sauce with their breadsticks, oh my gosh!
I
like
it wasn't Russo's. I know who you're talking about. That wasn't the name of it because I worked in the Steubenville Mall right out of college, and I lived on that pizza, and the breadsticks, even their pepperoni rolls with that sauce.
Yeah. It's delicious.
Okay. I got to ask you this too. I found this out moving to where I did. Pepperoni rolls, strictly an Ohio Valley thing. You're in Morgantown right now. Do they know what a good pepperoni roll is?
I don't know if they know what a good pepperoni roll is, but they definitely know pepperoni rolls. I think that it's definitely being. So I don't know if you're familiar with Glenville is, West Virginia.
Vaguely.
It's pretty smack dab in the center of the state.
Yeah.
But a lot of the kids and a lot of my friends that go there are all from like either that area or southern West Virginia. And like when I tell them that people don't know what pepperoni rolls are from like Ohio, like where my mom lives, because it's not a big thing in like the farther north in Ohio, they're like mind boggled by it.
I'm telling you, from New Philly, just west, has no clue. Like I said, I moved into, and I'm in the Zanesville area. I'm about 45 minutes from Columbus, where I'm at right now, and ton of pizza places here, ton. Not as good as Up Home, but they try. And I went into one, and I stupidly was just like, y'all got any pepperoni rolls? They're just like, huh?
What's that? What is it?
I was like, a pepperoni roll. They're like, what's a pepperoni roll? I was like, you're a pizza place. You have no idea what a pepperoni roll is. Like, and then trying to, I sounded like a psycho. I was trying to explain this to a cook at a little pizza shop here. I was like, it's about like maybe like 6 inches to a foot long. It's basically a pizza that's kind of just like, it's not a calzone. It's rolled up. It's pepperoni and cheese, like a little bit of sauce. Like and then you get a little cup to dip this, with sauce. And they're just like, yeah, we don't have that. They have like pepperoni bites is what they got me. I was like, the hell is this? Like I was like, all right. And then I went to every single pizza place here, like when we first moved, and asked for a pepperoni roll. They're like, we don't know what that is. I was like, I'm leaving. I don't like this anymore.
No, that's a thing. Definitely think that's a thing that West Virginians pride themselves in. And everyone's grandma makes the best pepperoni roll. You talk to anybody,
without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah. It was funny because like my wife and I just got fed up of not being able to find them. So I was like, we're just gonna make our own at home if we want them. It's probably cheaper than these places that'll probably upcharge us for not knowing what the hell we were talking about. And so my wife was just like curious, and she just typed in pepperoni roll recipe. The first option that comes up is West Virginia pepperoni roll recipe. That's the first option. Like, I love that. That is like a staple of West Virginia is just pepperoni rolls. I go as far as I think if anybody from the NCAA is listening, I think you need to make a pepperoni bowl and pepperoni roll. That's a hard thing. It's pepperoni roll bowl and have it somewhere in West Virginia.
Yeah.
You have a mayonnaise, you have a mayo bowl. Like, why can't we get let's get a pepperoni roll bowl and teach the nation what pepperoni rolls are.
So I know you said when you were explaining the pepperoni roll, it's obviously got pepperoni, cheese, a little bit of sauce.
Yeah.
Have you had a pepperoni roll with hot pepper cheese and banana peppers in it?
Yes.
Cool.
Dude, game changer.
Game changer.
If you like a little heat when you're eating, that's
a little bit. Just a little.
It's just enough. You get a little hot pepper cheese, maybe some pepper jack in there, and a little. I'll go as far as I've had that with a little bit of sweet banana peppers in there. Mm-hmm. Oh, I made that myself, and I was like, yeah, I'm keeping this recipe to myself. Like this is no joke. If you like a little sweet and heat,
yeah,
that'll change your life. That'll change your life. Oh man, I could talk about West Virginia all day. What's so we got under that, but what's next for Luke here? After I believe you have you graduated college yet, or are you finishing up this year, or you got one more year? Okay, so what's
semesters, more year?
Okay.
Next step, it comes back to talking about how you guys are trying to go back to Follansbee as quick as possible.
Yeah,
it's not that I hate the area. I want to leave as fast as possible. Maybe not for good. But I want to bring. I know there's more out there.
100%. You're not wrong. I would tell you to do it. I would tell you, anybody that's in any small town, venture out. There's a lot out there. Don't forget your hometown, because I'll tell you, leaving makes you appreciate it that much more. Mm-hmm. Because I was kind of like you, moved away and was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. Getting out of the small town. Going to do big things here. Columbus has a great comedy scene, trying to make it into comedy. Like, I'll be close to there, yada, yada, yada. Now it's just like, I miss Follansbee. I miss Pittsburgh. I miss Wheeling. And I just at the end of the day, that's home. For sure. And, being that far away from my family, I'm about 2 hours away from them. And it's not a terrible drive, but
no,
only seeing them basically every other year on holidays, because we split it between my wife's family and them because my wife's family's here. So it's tough when you're going home not as often as you would like, and I appreciate it more. Like, my parents are always like, "Hey, we know you live like forever away, like so if you guys gotta get out of here, like leave when you want to leave." I was like, "Well, if it was what I want to leave, it's like I'm just gonna move back in here. I'm gonna, I'm gonna have somebody go grab all like my animals and all my shit in Zanesville. I'm just gonna have moved in here. We got enough room here, right? We're good. We're cool. Like, I got a 16-year-old wife. We're just gonna come in here. We're fine." Yeah, like so they're like, "Just go home." I'm like, all right. So I blame that on being Italian too. We just very family oriented. Paisans.
Sure.
That's why people are always like, "Well, you don't see them leaving much." It's just like, yeah, it's just the Italian way. Like I'm pretty sure especially Italian boys, we stay at home until it's absolutely necessary that we leave home. No shit, I was 27 when I left my parents' house. 27.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, there wasn't. I mean, I was working, I was banking money, and like, although you think you're a baller when you're making like 30, 40 grand a year, and you're just like, dude, yeah, I got so much money to do whatever I want. And then you move out and you're like,
bills or nothing.
You got a few bills, car note, insurance, cell phone bill. That's it. And then like some food, like, and then you finally leave and you're just like, man, I wasn't making any money at all. So it's, but it's, it's just a thing. To get back there. And West Virginia, I will say though, this is weird because there's no pro sports teams.
Yeah.
0 pro sports teams. So who do you root for? I got to ask you, who do you root for in pro sports?
I got to be 100% honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't pay much attention.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, like, if there's a game on, I'll watch it. But, like, I don't really have a favorite team.
No skin in the game.
No. I mean, I got to throw this one out there for my dad because him and my pap both have always been diehard Raiders fans. So because of that, I always grew up, my family very strongly dislikes the Steelers.
Not yet.
And that's just how it always was. I don't know. I don't really care. I recently just got in, like the last few years, started doing the fantasy football, like the leagues. And it's not that I've paid more attention to the games and like the teams out there, but it helped me pay more attention to the players I had on my team.
Yeah.
Which then made like focus on like everybody. And that made it like everything interesting for me. But it's really just football, like NFL. I caught myself watching a couple baseball games. I mean, I would say the Pirates, although they're not the best in the MLB.
Ever.
I would say that. Yeah, I would say the Pirates. Definitely a Penguins fan. I do like hockey.
I love hockey.
That. I can't stand watching basketball.
100%. I'm with you on that one. Yeah, I don't root for anybody in the NBA. I'll watch college basketball.
I love the only college basketball I'll watch is March Madness. That's it. Do a bracket, and I will sit back and I'll just watch every game because they're all exciting.
Every now and again, I'd watch a WVU game. If it's on before March Madness and I can catch it, I'll flip it on for a quick second. But I root for all the Pittsburgh teams: Steelers, Penguins, Pirates. It's hard to admit that I'm a Pirates fan. And it's just how I think that's how you know you're a true fan when you can admit it out loud. But I am a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. Okay. I was super young. They still had the creamsicle orange jerseys. And I saw them in those and I was like, dude, those are sweet. I mean, I was like maybe 4 or 5. And like, I just, at that time, it's just like, oh, that color's awesome. I like orange. Like, and I stuck with it. And, there's no pro sports team. So like, who's going to be like, dude, why do you like them? Tell me a pro sports team in West Virginia that I could root for, like, but absolutely. You're not wrong with the fantasy football making you follow players more than the teams themselves. I will say this though, sports betting's legalized in pretty much the entirety of the United States now, get you a little bit more invested in the games for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. I turned 21 right smack down in the middle of football season in November, and I got into it pretty good.
Yeah, you could absolutely lose it sports betting.
Yeah, and what's crazy, I would only ever do it when I was with Brennan.
Shocker, Brennan.
Right, I would be in his basement, and he quit on the sports betting a couple of years ago, and I mentioned it one night, and he was like, "Give me your phone." I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Give me your phone. Do you want to bet $10?" I'm like, "Sure." He'd set it all up. I'd see what it is, and then be like, "All right, let's do this."
Yeah, my wife hates football season for that reason, because it's like football's like the only thing. And I've been told, like, by a lot of people, they call me a bitch better, because I think the most I've ever bet was like $50. Like, I'm not throwing like hundreds at this thing here. You know what I mean? Like, I got a guy I know. He said he put $5,000 on the Indiana Pacers to win it all this year. I'm like, you're dumb. I was like, one, tell me you're in your 20s, not married, and don't have any responsibilities, without telling me you're in your 20s, have no family, no responsibilities.
Right.
I went, if I put $5,000 on a long shot at best in the Indiana Pacers, I understand if that pays out. Kudos to you for making that bet. But I was like, my wife would cut my nuts off. Like, that would be the end of me.
I would have to like lock myself in my house until I either won or lost.
Yeah.
I couldn't bear the anxiety behind that.
No, like, he was pacing. It's a guy I work with in my day job. Like, he was pacing around the office today.
No, I'm sure of it.
And I'm like, dude, game 6. What? How you feeling tonight, big guy? Halliburton's out. What, like, possibly? How you feel? How's that $5,000 treating you? And like, I was just harping on him, and just like, I could already tell, like, he had like the proverbial knife in his gut from the situation ahead, and I was just twisting it. I was just giving him hell all day, and it was just one of those things that, like they said, like, I'll make my own parlays though, because you bet $10, you do like an easy parlay, you might win 15.
Yeah.
And, you're not winning, you're not breaking the bank. But I'll make some crazy ones, like some stupid 7-leg freaking parlay that goes from the 1:00 games all the way through Sunday night. And like, my wife's just like, okay, let me try to understand your logic here. You put $10 down. I'm not worried about like $10. That's not what I'm worried about. But you did a 7-leg parlay. She's like, I don't know anything about betting. I don't understand it. But so if any of those don't hit, you just lose that money. I was like, yeah, the very first thing I pick could not happen at 1:00, and then just the rest of the games mean shit.
Nothing
at that point in time, because I'm not going to win. She's like, so why would you do a 7-leg parlay? I was like, because if that $10 bet hits, it's $200 because they're all long shots. Like, this is just one of those, like, let's throw $10 at this and see what happens. Maybe the betting gods are on my side this time, and I hit one. Like, it's fun betting when you're not like, okay, that doesn't hit, I'm out $10.
Yeah, well,
I'm in. Yeah, that week we don't get to order out one night. We have to cook at home. Oh no, like that's what's on the line for me when I sports bet.
I would do that during March Madness this year. I think there was like 2 or 3 times. Oh, I had like, I think one time I had like an 8 or 9 leg parlay, and I think I might have put like 10 or $15 on it, and it would have hit for crazy. And I think I did it 3 separate times, and I think the second time I did it, I was like 2 games off from hitting.
Yeah.
Like I was so close. And then at that point, like, and it was like the last 2, like one of the last 2 games. Like I'm watching, I'm like, okay, this team won. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, okay, I'm done looking. Then I go back, I'm like, oh my, I need 4 more. Then the one wins, and I'm like, oh, there's no way. And then one lose. I'm like, shit.
That happened with me, and it was one of the 7-leg parlays, and one of it was I think one was like Mike Evan gets 100 receiving yards. Matt Stafford throws 2 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey has like 100 all-purpose yards, so catching and receiving. Like those 3 were like layups. You know what I mean? Like that's probably going to happen. And a couple of them were like, okay, took like the Rams money line. And then I think the Sunday night game was like Pittsburgh and Cincinnati or something like that. It was a rivalry game, and like I bet the spread that Pittsburgh would pull it out, and just everything else hit. And it was down to like the last second, and Pittsburgh, all they had to do was kick a field goal to get into field goal range. And they were just outside of Boswell's range. Like you get across the 50 and this man's hitting it. Like the dude's a freak. And it's just like, all right. My wife's like, she's like, you got to work in the morning, and it's at like 5 a.m. and it's like almost midnight. I was like, I don't want to talk about it right now. Like we're talking about like a huge payout if we can just get to the 40. And Boswell's automatic from there. And I think like Najee Harris fumbled or something, and we were in range. All they had to do was get to the middle of the field, kneel down, call a timeout with 3 seconds left, kick the field goal, and I would have made it on the spread, and everything would have been hunky dory. And I think it was like $10 would have paid out like 500. Like it was a stupid amount. Oh, wow. And I'm just sweating watching this. And when he fumbled, or it was something, the fumble and intercept, I can't remember what it was, but it was something stupid. Like, why are we running that play at this moment of the game? And I just paced the house. She's like, so you're just not going to sleep tonight? Is that what I was like? You have no idea. Like, this was the best coffee and energy drink anybody could have ever had. I'm so mad right now. Like, I watched from 1 o'clock all the way through. Everything hit. I needed a give me field goal from one of the best kickers in the league. And I couldn't get that. So, yeah, I get it. Like, when that happens, though, I am so invested in whatever it is. Yeah. Whatever game it is, I am just honed in on that game. Like, I will watch teams I don't even care about just to watch to see if the player gets what he's supposed to do.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll make a bunch of bullshit bets.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do a stupid parlay. I mean, like, women's tennis. I know I bet, like, there were like 2 games I did on that. It was like a weekend of just sports. It was like women's tennis and then like a UFC or something stupid. And I just like completely forgot about everything until like the next week when I like went in and checked my app and I like won. And I won like $5. But I mean, I was like, oh, nice.
Yeah. Like what? Yeah.
I'm not paying zero attention to anything that happened. I was like, oh, Cool.
that when the fantasy sports really came out, like the one day where you could win like some money on it, like kind of the early ages of sports betting, but it was still fantasy, so they kind of got away with it.
Yeah.
I did some stupid roster for baseball. It was like $1 to do it, and I was just like, well, I mean, what the hell? It's $1. Completely forgot I made it, like you. Had no clue. And this was the game, like Max Scherzer pitched like a complete game shutout. Almost perfect game. No hitter. He walked a guy in like the 9th inning. Cashed out for $600.
Holy shit.
On $1 bet. Like, I was just at work. It was slow. And I was just like fumbling through stuff on my phone. I was like, oh, let me see if there's anything in daily fantasy that I want to do tonight. Clicked on it, and I was like, account balance 600. I was like, what the hell? I was like, oh, that's right. Last night I did it. It's just the guys I worked with, like, just saw my eyes light up. They're like, what's going on? I was just like, dude, I hit $1 bet for 600. Like, color me lucky. I completely forgot about it. And yeah, so like, it's fun in that sense. Like, because again, it was $1. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna find that in the couch cushions with change. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right. No, that's crazy. You won 600 off of that.
And like, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna have some fun here on DraftKings and just throw some stupid bets out. This is free money right now. Like, so yeah, I get that for sure. And I think, yeah, like you said, you know, the fantasies and, you know, a little bit of smartly. Okay, we kind of went off on a real bad like sports gambling right there. But like, for people out there that have like smartly bet, we'll preference this. With that,
Definitely.
you know, be smart about it. Don't do anything like my coworker betting $5,000 on a long shot. Don't do that. And also DraftKings, you know, I will absolutely promote anything. I'm not that proud. Always looking for sponsors for the show. Love it. Just hit me up. And anytime, I will absolutely put in any shameless plug anywhere. But Luke, we are running down here near the end of the episode. I do have to get this segment in. If you listen to Brendan's show, you kind of already probably have an idea what's coming, and it is the Fast 55. It is 5 random questions from the wonderful manager of the podcast, Johnny Fitty Falcone. These are kind of rapid fire, but you can elaborate if you need to or want to. And yeah, if you know Johnny, anybody for the new listeners out there, these have nothing to do with what we've been talking about for the better part of an hour now. So if you are ready, Luke, we'll go ahead and get going. All right. Question number 1, and we're off to a great start. What would you be more afraid of? 100,000 angry fire ants or a pissed off polar bear?
100,000 fire ants or pissed off polar bear. Oh.
The mind of Johnny Fitty Falcone, everybody.
What would I be more afraid of?
What would you be more afraid of?
Oh, polar bear, 100%.
I mean, like,
you can't escape. I don't want to say you can easily escape ants, but like a polar bear.
It's a bear. At the end of the day, it's a bear.
A pissed off, very hungry, needs food polar bear. You're not winning.
Yeah, you're not winning that. I have to agree with that. I mean, 100,000. You know, if they caught you, you're probably in for a little bit of pain. But like a bear, it catches you and night.
If I find myself in the same environment as a polar bear, and he wants
something went wrong. Something went wrong if I'm in the same environment of a polar bear. Question number 2. What are your thoughts on grapes?
Grapes. They're delicious. They're delicious.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, I think this one, I mean, just based off of the conversation we just had before this segment. But question number 3, what pro sport athlete do you hate the most?
I don't even know.
I would say you
Oh, no. I don't even know if you can count it. See, this is how much I don't know about football. Who's that dude from Colorado that just.
Shedeur Sanders? Shedeur Sanders?
No, not him. The other one. Oh, shoot.
Travis Hunter?
Yeah. For some reason, I don't like him. I know he's not even like.
Yeah. Wanting to play both ways in the NFL is just crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like his attitude either.
Not wrong. You're not wrong. Question number 4. What's the best flavor of fudge?
Flavor of peanut butter.
Ooh, yeah. That's a solid choice. All right. This one might not go over well either, but question number 5. Better athlete, Rob Gronkowski or Aaron Judge?
Oh, Gronk. I got it.
Yeah. I don't know, though. Aaron Judge, I mean, any baseball player to me, like, to have that hand-eye coordination, to hit a 100-mile-an-hour ball and crank it 450, like, that takes skill. Like, that takes a lot of talent.
Then you get a guy the size of Gronk doing what Gronk did.
Yeah, I would say, but on the flip side of that coin, Gronk was a freak of nature as a tight end. Like, you look at just the dimensions of that man, and any coach would be like, yeah, that's one of my defensive linemen, or that's like my outside linebacker. Like, no, tight end. Like, yeah. So that's a tough one for me. Just on sheer size, I'd have to go Gronk. But just the hand-eye coordination, I'd have to give the edge to Judge on that one.
Yeah, that's given.
But that was the Fast 55. I mean, he started off crazy with that one. Yeah. We haven't had a good one like that in a while, though. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Johnny is notorious for those questions, like the first question. And I've been getting these types of questions since college because that's where Johnny and I met, was at Bethany College. And like, this is just an everyday thing for him, and the way his mind works. Like, he'll text me like randomly, and it'll just be like a question like that. We wouldn't be like talking about like anything for like a day or two, and then out of nowhere, so you're locked in a racquetball court with it's you, Batman, Conor McGregor, and a polar bear. You have a road flare, a tennis racket, and a set of boxing gloves. Who comes out alive? It's like, dude, Biddy, I love you to death, brother. Like, but like, it's 8 a.m. on a Saturday. Like, I don't have the mental capacity to answer this question. But like, he would do it to like all the time with like. And that's just Spitty. So like one day I was just like, yo, what if we made a segment on the podcast and we'll call it the Fast 55 and it'll just be your random ass questions.
Hell yeah.
And he was like, love it. It's a fun way to end the show. We've talked to like some like college admins and, some serious people too, as well, like on the show. And, you talk about some serious topics, and it's a fun way to just kind of wrap up the show.
No, for sure.
But Luke, I do give every guest this opportunity at the end of every show. If there's anything you want to get out there, anything you got going on, or even if it's just a good message to everybody, I'm going to give you about a minute, and the floor is yours.
I guess the only thing I'd say is live life to the fullest. Don't take anything for granted, and live free, I guess. You only get one life. Don't mess it up. don't have any regrets.
100%. I mean, I love it when people have, messages like that to end the show. You have a lot of fun, and I'm all for helping people if they have anything going on, to promote that out there and get that out there for. But when it's just a good message, like, I love it. The only thing I would, you're right. You do only get one life. I've coined a different phrase, like everyone, YOLO, you only live once. No, you only die once. You live every day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my, I guess it's Yodo, for me. But
I like that.
That just means, go out and live every day. Because you don't know, nobody knows when their time is. And it's just, you live every day. Yeah. You don't only live once, you live every day. You only die once. So go out and make the most of it. But that is actually going to do it for this week's episode of the Ride Home Rants podcast. Again, I want to thank my guest, Luke Secrist, for joining the show. A lot of fun to get to sit here and shoot the shit with him and talk about the sports and everything else that we got going on there in that episode. As always, if you enjoyed the show, be a friend, tell a friend. If you didn't, tell them anyways. They might like it just because you didn't. That's going to do it for me, and I will see y'all next week.
The Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by W Energy. Energy drinks made for gamers, streamers, and podcasters alike. For gamers, streamers, and podcasters alike. Go to the link in the description where you can find the best energy drinks out there. Less caffeine than a cup of coffee. Also, no jitters and no crash afterwards. Use the promo code Mike Bono and get yourself 10% off. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by my favorite sponsor of the show, and that is Shankit Golf. Golf apparel made for the everyday golfer. We might not go out and shoot a 6 under par. We're probably going to shoot a 6 over par, but this is going to give us the gear that's going to help us rock it on and off of the course. Go to the link in the bio, use the promo code Mike Bono, and get yourself 10% off there as well.